In the heart of Ibibio land, nestled among rolling hills and sprawling palm trees, lay the village of Afia Isong. For generations, it had thrived on the blessings of the earth. The land was fertile, the streams clear, and the people were industrious. However, beneath the surface of prosperity lay whispers of forgotten transgressions against the gods. These murmurs were dismissed by the elders, who deemed them tales to scare children into obedience. But the gods do not forget. It began on an unremarkable evening. The villagers were preparing for the new moon festival, a celebration of their ancestors and the bounties of the land. Women pounded yam in large mortars, children chased one another with laughter echoing in the air, and men sat around the village square, weaving tales of old under the glow of lanterns. The breeze came as a gentle whisper, cool and soothing against the humid night. At first, it was welcomed. But as the night deepened, the breeze grew stronger. Mats and baskets flew from where they had been neatly placed. The bamboo frames of houses creaked ominously. A young girl named Aini, barely 8 summers old, clutched her mother's wrapper tightly and asked, "Mama, why is the wind angry?" Her mother's face paled as she murmured a prayer to Abesai, the supreme god, for protection. By dawn, the village bore the scars of the breeze's wrath. Roofs lay crumpled, like discarded leaves. The once proud shrine at the village square, adorned with carvings of their deities, had been reduced to splinters. The elders convened, their faces grim, their voices hushed. Abong Akong, the oldest and wisest, declared, "This is no ordinary breeze. It is the hand of the gods. We must seek their will." A diviner was summoned from the neighboring village. Ikmini was known far and wide for her ability to commune with the unseen. She arrived with her calabash of cowries, her face painted in intricate patterns. The entire village gathered in the square as she performed the rituals. Chanting in a voice that seemed to come from another realm, she tossed the cowries onto a woven mat. Her eyes widened as she read their positions. "The gods are displeased," she announced, her voice heavy with foreboding. "They speak of betrayal, of promises broken and offerings withheld. Someone among you has angered them." The crowd murmured in confusion and fear. Who could have offended the gods? Accusations flew, and neighbors turned on one another. Old grievances resurfaced, and the unity of Afia Isong began to crumble. In the midst of the chaos, the breeze returned, fiercer than before. It tore through the village, uprooting trees and scattering livestock. The villagers fled to the forest, seeking refuge among the ancient trees. In the days that followed, the breeze became a constant presence. It came without warning, leaving destruction in its wake. The villagers could not rebuild their homes or tend to their farms. Hunger and despair set in. Children cried for food, and the elders grew weaker. Even the forest, once a sanctuary, became a place of fear as the breeze seemed to penetrate its depths. Desperate, the elders decided to undertake a journey to the sacred mountain of Okpong Abesai, where it was said the gods could be directly petitioned. A delegation of 6 was chosen, including Abong Akon and Ikmini. They carried with them offerings of yam, palm wine, and a white goat. The villagers watched them depart with a mix of hope and dread. The journey to Okpong Abesai was arduous. The mountain was shrouded in mist, its slopes treacherous. As they ascended, the breeze followed them, howling through the trees like a tormented spirit. They reached the summit after 3 days, exhausted and battered. There, they found an ancient altar, overgrown with moss and vines. Kneeling before the altar, Ikmini began to chant, her voice echoing in the stillness. The others joined her, their prayers a desperate plea for mercy. Suddenly, the mist thickened, and a voice boomed from the heavens. "You dare to seek our favor," the voice thundered. "For generations, you have grown fat on our gifts, yet you honor us only in word, not in deed. You have allowed greed and pride to fester. Now you reap what you have sown." The elders begged for forgiveness, promising to mend their ways. The voice responded with a riddle, "The breeze shall cease when the weight of your guilt is lifted. Find the one whose heart harbors the deepest betrayal." They returned to the village, burdened with the task of uncovering the traitor. Days turned into weeks as they interrogated every villager. Secrets emerged, some petty, others shocking. A farmer admitted to stealing yams from his neighbor. A widow confessed to harboring envy against another. But none of this seemed sufficient to appease the gods. The breeze continued its relentless assault. Then, one night, Ikmini had a vision. She saw a hidden grove in the forest, where an ancient relic of the gods lay buried. She led the villagers to the spot, and they dug until they unearthed a carved idol, its features worn but still imposing. Abong Akong's face turned ashen when he saw it. He confessed that decades ago, in his youth, he had taken the idol from the shrine to settle a dispute over land. He had hidden it, believing the gods would not notice. The villagers were horrified. They demanded his punishment, but Ikmini reminded them of the gods' words. They carried the idol back to the village and rebuilt the shrine with reverence. Abong Akong offered himself as a sacrifice, hoping to atone for his sin. The elders debated but ultimately agreed. He was laid on the altar, his life given to the gods in a solemn ceremony. For a brief moment, the breeze subsided, and the villagers dared to hope. But their relief was short-lived. The next evening, the breeze returned, more ferocious than ever. It became clear that the gods' wrath was not so easily placated. The villagers scattered, abandoning Afia Aisong. Some sought refuge in distant lands, while others vanished into the wilderness. Years later, the ruins of Afia Aisong lay silent, overtaken by the forest. The breeze still haunted the area, a ghostly reminder of the gods' fury. Travelers spoke of hearing whispers in the wind, of feeling an inexplicable sorrow as they passed through. The tale of the cursed village became a cautionary story, a warning to honor the gods and never take their gift for granted. And so, Afia Aisong faded into legend, its people scattered, its once thriving land reclaimed by nature. The gods' hatred lingered, a testament to the price of betrayal and the enduring power of their will.